Hey YouTube, it's your girl Ashley Nicole. I've got a couple of things going on in life and I decided let's go ahead and make a little bit of a series out of it. So next year I will have been with my husband for 15 years, married for 10. So to kind of celebrate such a momentous occasion, we're gonna do a vow renewal. Now, if you know anything about me, I eloped pretty much. We found out that we were pregnant in 2015, engaged on my golden birthday. I actually have a video that my sister and my aunt went ahead and put together for us. All my family came out. We were supposed to be surprising them with the announcement of our pregnancy, but instead TJ surprised me with an engagement ring. So that was a real cute little story. But just fast forward, we had Bailey a year later. We wanted to have a wedding. Well, I wanted to have a wedding after she was born and things had settled down a little bit. That didn't happen. Year 5 came. We were up to 2 kids, and that was what, 2020? Yeah, nothing was happening in 2020. So we decided pretty much, just to hold off again. And now year 10 is here. And I really, 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 really want to go ahead and do it this time. Like, I've been talking about it for so many years. I've got Pinterest boards. I've got other contacts I've made in the previous years. I just got it all just sitting there waiting to be put together. So he's in agreement with me. He knows that I deserve this. So we are now planning for a vow renewal. We were married August 19th this year, or in 2025, August 19th falls on like a Tuesday. So we'll either do it the weekend before or the weekend after. I'll get all of that together. So we know when we're going to have it. We know we don't want to spend too much on it. Now, this is just a one-day event. So I don't want to go too crazy, but I do want it to look nice. When I first started thinking about like having a vow renewal or having a wedding ceremony, period, things were a little bit cheaper before 2020. We all know everything is skyrocketing. To make matters worse, like, I live in Chicago, so things are again gonna automatically be even more expensive than it should be. When I heard that the average wedding where it was like $30,000, baby, I was like, no way, we're not doing that. We're gonna do this for $10,000-$15,000. And it could be done for $10,000-$15,000, but just not to the standard that I want. And as I budget and try to figure out what each category will cost, I try to include the cost of taxes as well. So I'm really trying to break it down to the penny of what everything is going to cost. So got an idea on our budget. I have a guest list kind of together, and I'll be honest, it's maybe 150 people on that, but I'm assuming that at least 10 to 15 people will not be able to make it, and then some people will still cancel on you the week of. So I'm hoping, and I'm kind of budgeting everything, and this could be like a big mistake, I don't know, but I'm budgeting around everything costing for 120 to 130 people. I really would not hope, but I'd be a little if everybody said they could come, because then that means the price tag is going up. So I feel like the next step is to talk about venues. So that is what we'll be talking about for the remainder of this video. The venue search that I've been doing, it's been a long time coming. I've been venue searching for almost since January, if not earlier than that. So we're in pretty much almost in October. Today is September 24th. So I've been searching for venues for quite some time. But I do not want to spend more than $5,000 for a venue. And when I say that, I don't mean $5,000 for like catering and alcohol. No, I know that doesn't make sense. But to actually like rent a venue, like to rent the facility and whatever amenities that they have with it, I don't want to spend more than $5,000. Now, of course, when I started searching, I went to the websites like The Knot, what is another one, Wedding Wire, Google searches. I went through so I could see what other people recommended, and I found a bunch of really nice places. Quite a few of them, if you're from Chicago, those lofts over there in the 30th area, whatever, a lot of those were really pretty. I was liking the idea of like that rustic look, and they kind of fell somewhat into the range that I wanted to go. And I was like, okay. But then I would get my hopes up and email them the date that I was looking for. They'd email me back, yeah, we're available for that date. They would send me the information pack, and yeah, I could afford the venue price, but their preferred caterers and preferred bartenders and all their preferred vendors, that is what skyrocketed the price and had cut a lot of them out of my venue. I may be just really behind the ball, but there is no way that plates per person should be costing $200. No, even if I was rich, I don't think I would want to pay $200 per plate for people. Like, that is insane to me. So a lot of those places were kicked out. So once I started seeing like where the cost is really coming in, I had to go ahead and like kind of add filters to my search or whatever. So of course, it was the number one filter was budget. It had to come in within that price range that I set for myself. Number two, location. It had to be central enough, because I've got, of course, my family is all in the city and suburbs, so they can make it to where they need to make it. But I do have a few family members that I know are going to come from out of state, and I can't have people coming from Cali, from New Orleans, from Texas, to go to, no offense, because I was born there, Calumet City, for a wedding. I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't want to do that. That's enough said. I don't want to do that. Piggyback off of that, parking. Now, you know, a lot of people are going to drive to your venue. A lot of places downtown don't have the capabilities to have a parking lot. They may have valet, that's an additional cost. Or they may say, go to a parking garage just around the corner, additional cost. Because honestly, I don't think I would want to make my guests pay for a parking garage and then have to come up a flight of stairs or like come over from a street or two over and walk to the venue. I don't want to do that. I want them to be able to be in the parking lot of the facility and just walk a short distance. That is big to me, because not only do I have to be concerned about my guests having parking, any vendors that I have to come that day, where they gonna park? I'm not trying to have, like, there was one venue that was like in the Diamond District, beautiful venue, but where is everybody gonna park? I'm gonna have a truck with all my decor park under the L and try to, you know, squeeze into those positions. No, we're not even gonna try to deal with that fiasco. Has to have parking. Third thing was amenities, and I'll get into this a little bit deeper because I found a facility, and yeah. So amenities, and when I say that, what does the venue include? Are they including plates? I know this sounds super basic, like why wouldn't they have plates? But yes, plates, linen, chairs, tables. Does that come included with any of the costs that you're paying to them? Amenities is definitely one of the things that I am big on, and I'll get back to that as to why I came to that. And then the fourth one is just like preferred vendors. Do I have the capability of bringing in my own caterers, my own decor service, possibly my own bartender service? Because that is honestly where a lot of the costs, like I said previously, come from. Paying for their catering service, who you might not even care for their food. You might know a wonderful catering service, great reviews, great product, but you can't use them because you have to use their preferred vendors. And I know everybody builds relationships, and that's why they're called preferred vendors, but maybe I don't want to use those people. But I was able to find, just through a Google search, a couple of places. So I'm going to include pictures here and try to hurry up and get through this because I feel like I'm starting to talk on and on. So it started off with some venues that I had found previously when I was looking back in like 2015 and 2020. I looked at some of those venues. Now, one of them was super cute. It's called Dolphin on the Lake. I'll just include like a picture of the actual clubhouse. It's out in Flossmoor, I think. Yeah. It is a beautiful community center. I think they renovated it a couple of years ago, and I've been there for a family members party. So that's how I knew of that space. And it's a cute venue. It's got like a little outdoor, like a little pond outdoor, and they've got like a ceremony space with like rocks as you go up the steps to get to the clubhouse. It's really pretty, very affordable. They have packages to kind of help you dress up the place. They do have a preferred vendor. If not, you have to pay a little extra to have like a different caterer come in. But the caterer didn't seem that bad. And I had like broke it down. I went through how much I would spend on catering, the different packages. I knew which one I was going to choose. But then it just felt like it might not have been big enough for the guest count that I have. And then all the other things that we want to do. So I was kind of like, no, we're not going to do it. We went on another one. My husband actually attended a wedding or a reception at a place on like 60th and Cicero. So again, it's in the city, but it's out west a little bit. I didn't care for the location, but that wasn't the deciding factor to not go with it. And I do have some videos that I'll post somewhere here. They weren't the best videos, so I do apologize, but it was a very pretty space. I feel like it used to be like some type of store, some type of retail store. It's right next door to AutoZone. It's on a busy street. It had a parking lot. I wasn't sure if the parking was enough, but it does have a parking lot. It was renovated on the inside. It came with the I don't know if I'm saying this right, the Chiavari chairs, whatever you call it. It had she had little chandeliers in there. Walls was painted gray, and for my color scheme I was like, that's not gonna really go with it, but whatever. Still wasn't the deciding factor to not go with it. They allowed you to, they had catering, but I think they allowed you to bring in your own catering. They had their own bar that you could do. That was really cute. It was a cute bar. It was black owned, so that was a plus. The main thing that really pushed me off of this space, beside the location, is that it was a long rectangle shaped building, and just when I picture it, I did not want it to be in a rectangle shaped room. Like, I want a square, just a big boxy room where we can be seen. The trend now is to do like your reception, your ceremony, like in the center of the room. That I don't feel like would have worked at that venue, because it would have been a lot of people toward the back that might not have been able to see certain things. You know, shorter people can't see, so then they're kind of doing all this in the ceremony, holding their phones up, trying to see better. I don't want all that. So that was kind of like why I didn't want to go with that. And I know my husband probably was irritated with me, because I think he wanted it to go there. It just didn't, it wasn't what I wanted. So sorry boo. We did get a contract from her. We were thinking about going with them, and just to rent the place was like $3,400. And my husband's getting shocked too by the sticker prices, because he didn't realize it cost that much. I don't know what he thought it was gonna cost to rent that place. That's not a bad price, but it's just, like I said, I didn't like the shape of the room, and it didn't go with what my vision was for our vow renewal. What was it called? Heavenly Occasion. So it's black owned. I suggest, if you want like to do a party there or something, really cute place to go. Check it out, Heavenly Occasions, and it's Chicago, over there by the airport. It's by Midway. I found another spot called Ophelia's Banquet. I love Ophelia's Banquet. I went there twice. I checked it out online, and it really automatically fit with the aesthetics that I had in my mind. I want to do like a gold. I just love gold. I love gold on my skin. I love gold on black skin, and creams and browns. That's kind of what I want to go with for the thing. And their walls were all like cream chandeliers, gold accents, beautiful. It was just pretty. And I'll include pictures and videos in here. My friends with me, check it out. And when I say the owner of the place, Miss Ophelia, and her daughter that works there, are wonderful. I loved her from the instant I met her. And like the space, just, it had so much. It was a banquet hall. It had multiple rooms, but it was two main rooms I was interested in. The first room I was thinking, okay, we could do the reception in there. They have a little mini bar that I had to probably dress up a little bit, because it was like a burnt orange. It really killed everything, but I could have decorated that a little bit, and then had people flow into the next room for the reception. Now, this place, like I said, it had parking. It checked off everything. I think to rent both of those spaces in that little mini bar was like $4,200. They had a bridal suite, almost a bridal apartment upstairs. She had a downstairs like lounge area she was setting up and creating that the men could win it. It touched on everything, and I was ready to sign. Problem was, as I went back with my sister-in-laws and then like looked over it with my friends, for everything that we want to do in our reception, it wasn't enough space. It was like, well, I don't want my party to be in two separate rooms, because it's not like, it would have been really nice if like the bar was back far enough that if you did want to combine the two rooms, then you could at least see each other across the bar. But the bar is kind of up, and you kind of see it in the pictures that I'll post. The bar is kind of up, so it really is, the rooms are divided, and you wouldn't be able to see everything that was going on. So that would really suck, as far as if we wanted to do an activity, or if people just want to see us. Somebody was going to miss out and not be able to see us. So that is why I didn't go with them. But I really love that space. If I would need to do like a birthday party for my grandparents or my husband or something, or just something smaller than a actual wedding, I definitely would book them, because they were amazing. I love them. So they was willing to work with me on things. It just wasn't gonna fit for the size. So sad to say, had to leave them alone. I don't even remember how I found the third venue that I checked out. Pretty sure it was another Google search, but this was a community space, and this is a space I eventually picked. So it was called Charles Hayes. It is called the Charles Hayes Family Investment Center. It's like on 48th and Wabash, so it's closer to the city. It's close to Hyde Park. I think it's in Bronzeville, but it's close to Hyde Park, close to South Loop, downtown. So if I have out-of-state guests, they can go get a room there. I had already figured out like the space, and I'm going to include a video here. It's a big square room, which is all that I wanted. Big square room. And it comes with tables and chairs, and the rental amount is $1,000, I think, for 6 hours. And every additional hour you want to add on is $100. So already they was winning me with the price. But with that price comes extra cost. The walls are hot. It's a black ceiling, cute little chandelier. Hold on. Chandelier, so surprisingly it had a pretty chandelier in there. Walls are about 20 feet high. I want to say it was 3,000 square feet, so plenty of room, right? Plenty of room. They had a stage that we could probably put a sweetheart table on, and then have everybody set up around. It had room to do the little extra things we wanted to do. It just needed to be decorated better, right? It's a beige wall, black curtains. It's a community center. Looks exactly like what I'm saying. The problem was, I envisioned how I wanted. I wanted to do draping all around. I wanted to do the white dance floor with the monogram on the floor. And they were cool to do all that. They were cool with me bringing in the vendors to do that. They were cool with us putting stuff on the wall. I would have the vendors. They were able to say, oh, we can just like you could see it in the video, a black stage, which is so crazy because everything is cream and here's this black ass stage. I don't know where that came from. But they had a way to decorate and cover it. It was all starting to allow you to bring in your own catering, of course, for bartending services and security. The security, 2 companies that they use, I've emailed them twice. Them people don't respond back, so that's a negative already. The bartending staff that they had 2. One is completely closed and out of business, so you have to go with the other. And the guy that I was working with, he's super nice. It's a lot of extra cost. So when I say amenities part, when I'm going back to that, all that they offered was tables and chairs. And not the nice chairs. Of course, they're the community center banquet chairs, the little red chairs you see Sunday at your church, those type of chairs. So no, I don't want that. And no, and nothing against it. I didn't want no chair covers. I didn't want that. So now that's an additional cost. Now I have to bring in chairs. They didn't offer any linen or anything like that, additional cost. Now I have to add on linen for at least 16 tables, at least. We're not even talking about the tables for catering or suite, like a gift table or any other table. So that's at least 16 to 20 tables that I have to now cover with linen. I have to rent that. Then on top of that, I had to rent anything else that I need: plates, utensils, cups, the little chafing dishes that hold your food. Got to pay for all of that. And when I say, okay, at first I didn't think too much. I was like, that shouldn't be too crazy. When I got the estimate from him, he told me, he was like, yeah, the little administration fees, they do add up. But I did not know they was going to add up to $3,000. And when I say $3,000, I had already had, my sister-in-law bought a bunch of like the little water goblets, the nice little glass goblets. So I was like, okay, we'll just go to Dollar Tree and get more of those to add on to what she already had. So all I asked him for was plates, dinner plates, salad plates, forks, and knives. And all of that came to $3,000. And I'm sorry, this does include 2 bartenders and 3 wait staff. That's still, the wait staff was cheaper than the utensils. I think the wait staff ticket, like the cost of them was like maybe $900. So for it to be almost $3,000 for plates and forks is insane to me. So then I was like, man, because I had already signed a contract with them, because I was like, $1,000, let's do it. I'm scared that, I'm gonna miss out some, because you got to book early for these venues. You got to be on it, right? Or you're gonna just get stuck with something that's super expensive. So I just looking at the price to rent it, I was like, let's get it, let's do this. But then all these little things started adding up, and I'm like, man, that's a lot to bring in. So now I'm like, all right, well, I'm not gonna get it from him. Now I gotta go and buy forks off of Amazon. I gotta go buy plates from IKEA, or and all of that stuff just kept adding up. And it was like, what am I gonna do with all this stuff afterwards? Yeah, I can try to sell it on Facebook Market, but that's just extra work that I've got to do. So it's just like weighing out the pros and the cons. Like, yeah, it's cheaper to rent this spot, but look at all the work that you have to do. And I haven't got to the good part yet. I reached out to a couple of decor services. Remember, I wanted to drape everything to hide the ugly walls. I wanted to have all the tables, like, nice linens on the tables, sweetheart tables set up really nice. And then, of course, I have to cover that stage. I went to 2 different venues, and you've probably seen them on social media. And I'll include a video of the one, because it was so pretty in there. Like, if you planning a wedding, you would die going in there, because it's just so beautiful. Like, everything she had. She was a nice lady, too. It was in Orland. after we, of course, I probably could have broken it down a little bit, but just right off top, everything that I wanted, that bill was close to $20,000. I have to double check. I'll include the invoice so you can see the price. Crazy. Now, I know that I probably could have worked with her, and she said that we can work and take things off, deduct things that you want. But it was just apparent to me that no matter who I went to, because I did go and check out another vendor for decor, and they were able to kind of meet my needs a little bit better. Like, as far as like drapes, I wanted the walls, again, 20 feet high. I wanted the drapes to cover all the walls. The first lady I went to, I think her drapes only went up 14 feet. The other company that I eventually signed with go up to 18. So I figured it's better to just go with them. But after we went through and talked about everything that we wanted, and this time I tried to like scale back on some of the things, but some of the things I said I just couldn't compromise on was those chairs and the draping. Their bill was $9,800. This is where the lesson comes in. Yeah, it's cheaper to do this venue, but if you wanted to look how you wanted to look, you're gonna spend some bread. So as I started to like add everything up, because this is just $9,800 for the venue, for the decoration, I still have to include the bartender service, and actually supplying the bartender service with liquor, food, photographer, DJ, all that adding up. And this is not even including hair, makeup, nails. I'll probably do press on because I'm trying to save money. Dress for me, not only for me, a suit for my husband, dress for my daughters, and a suit for my son. We hadn't even added all that on yet, and we were already at close to $12,000 just with the venue and decor. That didn't seem right. So I got back to looking, and I have found a new venue that I'm going with now. So I'm working on breaking this contract now, and it's so early in the game that I think it's going to work out in my favor, because I had to put down a deposit. The deposit is not refundable. It's $400, and I did say that it just, once I did the math of this new place, that if it made sense dollar wise, then I would have no problem losing that $400 to go with another venue. So that's kind of where I'm at now. But so the video feeling like it's getting too long, so I'm gonna do a part 2 to kind of explain the rest of what happened with the venue I locked in with and the new venue that I wanted to go to. Thank you guys for watching. Tune in for the second part that I'm gonna put out next week. Make sure you comment, like, share, subscribe, all of those wonderful things, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.